To me, these games were different. Whereas I played any other survival horror game where it was just basically jump scares every now and again, for Silent Hill it was just different. Once you entered that town, you had an uneasy feeling from start to end. And the first Silent Hill that I was introduced to was Silent Hill 1, where you played as Harry Mason on his search for his daughter, asking the age-old question.
I'm looking for my daughter. She's only 7, short, black hair. Let me ask you, have you seen a little girl around here? Short, black hair, 7 years old?
But despite that, this was the first survival horror game that I ever played that I kinda had to stop near the end of the game because it freaked me out so much. But that's not the game that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the sequel to Silent Hill 1 and one of my favorite games of all time, Silent Hill 2. To me, this was Silent Hill at its peak. Not that I'm saying that there was anything wrong with the Silent Hill games after that, but Silent Hill 2 was special. Silent Hill 2 was released on the PlayStation 2 on 2001, and it sold over 1 million copies in North America. And when I played it, I could not get over how good the game looked and just how immersive it was in the story, even though the story has been targeted as, well, kind of depressing. You play as a character called James Sunderland, a widower who just received a letter from his dead wife, and all it says is that they're waiting in their special place. And with the remake just recently that just came out, what a better time to talk about this. So sit back, relax, and enjoy as I talk about one of my favorite games of all time, Silent Hill 2. The town of Silent Hill was once known as a beautiful, sacred, and holy place by Native Americans. However, when settlers from Europe arrived in the 1600s, the Native Americans were forced to abandon their homeland, and many were slaughtered. Even then, the land seemed to possess a mysterious power. As time passed, the power of Silent Hill appeared to increase, which in turn led to strange events such as disappearing citizens, misfortunes at the lake, and the mayor of Silent Hill suddenly dying. These would later serve to shape the events which occur in subsequent games and the lives of the characters involved. Ordinary people with darkness, such as sins, guilt, or the inability to see the truth in their hearts, are called to the town, where they witness the supernatural. For example, monsters that symbolize their hidden personas and subconsciousness, and an alternate reality known as the Otherworld. The other instances, people who are related to the town in some aspect are also called to the town and witness the oddities. For example, Harry Mason's daughter is half of Alexia's soul, but we're not going to get into the Alexia story arc. We'll probably do that in another video. Just for now, we're just going to focus on the main title of today, and that's James Sunderland. James was proficient in track and field in his school days. According to the novelization, he was a clerk for a small company, possibly in Ashfield. His father is Frank Sunderland, who is the superintendent of an apartment building in Ashfield. James and Mary met at a house party held by a mutual friend. Their affection evolved from a blazing passion to a peaceful and stable relationship. Before Mary and James were married, James would listen to Mary play the piano. Mary liked to play the piano, and even though she wasn't very good at it, James still loved to hear her play. Prior to the events of Silent Hill 2, Mary and James decided to take a vacation in Silent Hill after reading a brochure for the town. They stayed in the Lakeview Hotel, where James recorded a videotape of Mary. In the videotape, Mary says that she heard that Silent Hill used to be a sacred place, that she loved the town and she would love to come back there someday. She asked James to make a promise that he would take her back, which ends the videotape before the response can be heard. James accidentally forgot the videotape in the hotel as the couple left Silent Hill. 3 years prior to the events of Silent Hill 2, Mary was struck with a terminal illness, which debilitated her to the point of having violent mood swings, in which she would be lashing out at James in anger. Her doctor estimated that Mary would have less than 3 years left to live, and told James that there was no effective treatment. James questioned Mary's doctor about her illness, and could not believe that they would let Mary die. He searched through medical literature for information about Mary's illness, but to no avail. During later stages of her illness, James visits her at the hospital, where his wife becomes less frequent, supposedly because of her emotional state. Her mood swings left him bewildered as to what was the right thing to do. Mary and James' wishes of having children was also put to an end due to the disease. Sometime later, sadly, Mary passed away from her illness. But until one day, James got a letter, and the envelope said Mary. And thus, my friends, is where our story begins.
Could you really be in this town?
In my restless dreams, I see that town. Silent Hill. You promised you'd take me there again someday, but you never did. Well, I'm alone there now, in our special place, waiting for you.
I got a letter. The name on the envelope said Mary. My wife's name. It's ridiculous. Couldn't possibly be true. That's what I keep telling myself. Mary died of that damn disease 3 years ago. So then why am I looking for her? Our special place. What could she mean? This whole town was our special place. Could Mary really be here? Is she really alive? Waiting for me?